how do you become a better songwriter? You know, for someone out there, right, who's a starting artist, maybe they just starting to write songs, or maybe they're been doing it a long time like you and just
Right.
still there. What do you, you know, what steps, what do you do to become a better songwriter? Is there a book you buy? Is
Well,
there?
there probably are. There are. I think a great way to learn is, especially here, there are lots of, and there used to be, we'll get back to that at some point, so many venues where there's a focus on the songwriter. You can literally go to the Bluebird wherever you want, and you can hear your favorite song sung by the person who wrote it. And
Wow.
that's a powerful moment, you know, whether it's a performance that's different from the artist that cut it, hearing the person that created it, wrote it, created that melody, that's powerful. That alone will inspire you to want to be better, you know. Then it's the process of continuing to do it. You know, you have to work at it. And then being able to edit yourself is a tough one, you know, where you get out of that place where everything I've written is great, you know,
Yeah.
because it's not great, especially in the beginning. It's not even good, you know. You've got to keep going. You got to keep working at it. You got to get better, or you never will be better. I think that makes sense, doesn't it? You got to work. You got to work at it, or you'll never ever get better. And there are a lot of people that make that mistake. They kind of, not that they're even full of themselves, they just think everything they've written is great. Oh, I love it, you know. And you start making some progress. I get it, you know. I'm sure I was the same way. I know I was. I recently heard some demos from the 80s, and it's shocking at how average they are, you know. The ideas, the lines have been said before. It's nothing new, you know, nothing edgy. And then eventually it did start leaning that direction, but that was all a process. Took a lot of frustration trying to record with a little 4-track, trying to program drums. Then I tried to play all the instruments, and it was a lot, you know. But like I said, when I met better songwriters and they slowly took me in, it was intimidating, yes, but I learned so much, and it really elevated, it pushed me, just like an athlete or anything else. You get around a great athlete, man, it can make you step up your game. And that's kind of what my very first co-write in Nashville, of course, grew up in the Austin area, loved the progressive country thing, was on fire when I was in high school. And Jerry Jeff Walker, guys like that, you know, Doug Somm, Rusty Weir, Ray Wiley Hubbard, Gary P. Nunn, just went on and on. They were all living and breathing in Austin, Texas. We could drive down there in high school, go to Armadillo World headquarters, and there they were on Friday or Saturday night. You know, it was unbelievable. But a lot of those songs were written by Guy Clark, who I wasn't even sure who that was when I was in high school. I just started seeing his name popping up on songs I liked. Desperados, Waiting for a Train, LA Freeway, you know, whatever. Rita Ballou, love that song. And so my very first, I got my deal at MCA. They signed me. A young girl who's going to take on my daily scheduling. And so she goes, I've got you lined up. My first co-write was with Guy Clark, of all the people, you know.
Wow.
And oh man, I didn't sleep for days. I worked on ideas. I was so nervous, and he's kind of a hulk of a guy. He's a big guy. And I kind of gurmed him and told him how great he was. He's like, fuck that. You know, he didn't want to hear any of that. And then he liked this idea I had, and he kind of just automatically made me feel welcomed and like, you can do this, you know, you got a good idea here. And then he said, let me take this home and work on it. But before he did that, you know, I'm nervous. I'm trying to get over being in the room with Guy Clark, a true hero of mine. And then he goes, hey man, he goes, you want to get high? And I said, yes, sir. And so now I'm high with Guy, you know. It's like, oh my God, I'm paranoid. I got a million things going through my head. Oh my God.
Absolutely.
And then
he
he graciously went, let me take this home. Then he started inviting me out to his house, his little place where he was living, where he had his shop. He had a cool little woodworking shop where he was building guitars, and he liked to write there, and had cassettes and all of his woodworking stuff on one wall, guitars on the other wall he had built from handmade.
Oh, wow.
And it was a wonderful experience. I could never relax. I was just in awe of him. We wrote a couple cool things. I never wrote the classic great Guy Clark song that's on all of his albums. I wish I had. He's one of those guys, he was just too big for me in the room. And I knew in the back of my mind, guys like that, he doesn't need someone like me to write a great song. He wrote most of those by himself, a lot of them, you know. But he was doing me a favor. I had a deal. I'm from Texas. This is going to be we should meet, you know, the label guy. He's in Nashville trying to make a living, you know. And so, but it turned into more than that. I ended up bringing other young artists over to meet him, which he really loved, and a couple that he really hit it off with. But
that's cool. That's really cool.
A young guy from Australia named Jed Hughes, who is a phenomenal musician. He plays on a lot of.
Why is there a lot of Australians that play country music?
You know, it's alive and well over there. I mean, I went and toured there with Brooks and Dunn, and it's a big part of music.
Yeah,
they remind me of Texans in a way. They're rowdy, drinking, music loving.
Love Australians, man. Yeah, I love Australians.
Yeah. Oh, we were there for 15 days, and it was phenomenal. I loved it, man. But that particular kid, Jed, I met him when he was 19, and he's played on amazing albums, songs, hit records. He was an artist. I produced a record on him at MCA. But one of the first things I thought was, man, you need to know someone like Guy Clark, you know? So I took him over there, and they just hit it off. The guy just fell in love with him, but mainly because of his talent. His guitar skills were off the charts. He was phenomenal. And he still is. He's about 37. He was 19 when I met him. But yeah, I've always been like that, especially with someone like Guy. If I'm mentoring or if I'm helping someone, helping get them in the room with someone like that that's somebody you need to know, you know?